Hello, it's Ro. Welcome to another Nerdy Nummies. I just want to say thank you to everyone who has left suggestions for Nerdy Nummy ideas. This one was chosen by you guys. I'm going to be making a Plants vs. Zombies cake, and specifically, a sunflower cake. Yay! I'm really excited because I've been playing the game a lot to test my headphones, so yes, let's get started. The tools that we will be using today will be scissors, this fancy cake leveler that my parents sent me. I don't know how to use it, but I Googled it, so it may work. This fondant cutter thingy, the mustachula or offset spatula or frosting spatula, or I'm trying to think of anything else that anyone told me the name of what this is. Regular spatula, cake poker, whisk, measuring cup, and a mixing bowl. And last but not least, the sunflower cake pan that I got at Michael's. Boom, for $7.99. Ingredients that I will be using today will be a box cake. I'm using a yellow box cake, but you can use any recipe you'd like. Eggs, water, pan baking spray, and vegetable oil. I'm gonna start by greasing the pan. When you're using a cake pan that has a lot of grooves like this, you just wanna make sure that you really grease this pan because you don't want the cake sticking to all those little details. You want it just to be able to plop out when it's cooled. Okay, now we add 3 eggs. Oh man, I blew that one so bad. 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. And you're gonna whisk for about 2 minutes. It says 2 minutes on medium. This is my medium speed because I'm not using an electric beater. This is fast. Once the batter is really smooth, then you know it's ready. Time to pour. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, so we're gonna grab the cake pan and then pour it. And this time we're gonna use all the batter in the box cake. This pan is deceiving because it looks very shallow, but it can actually hold a lot of batter. Now I'm just using my spatula to spread the batter to be really, really smooth. And this cake's gonna be a little bit different. The recipe on the back says to bake it at 350, but we're actually gonna cook it at 325 for about 5 minutes longer. And the reason is because these little edges are gonna cook faster because they're thinner, and then the middle, if you leave it at 350, it will be unbaked, and these will be burnt. And bake for about 40 minutes. And to check if it's done, use your cake poker. If you don't have one of these fancy thingies, you can just use a toothpick. And when you poke it in and it comes out and there's nothing on it, then you know that it's done. While your cake is baking, you can make yourself a cake plate. I made this out of cardboard with wax paper. Just make sure to neatly tape it in the back. After you've taken your cake out of the oven, make sure it's had plenty of time to cool, and then we are going to cut. It rose a little bit too high in the oven, so what we're gonna do is, this is the actual bottom, and we're gonna cut it so it's gonna lay flat. I've never used one of these before. I don't really know how, I think I have to move this up. Oh, that's good. Okay, and then I think you just walk it along here. This might be better for a small cake. Bunny, let's see. All right, perfectly flat. Once you're done leveling the bottom of the cake, we flipped it the right way, and now we're gonna level the top of the cake. And the reason is because the pre-made sunflower head is way too small. If you've played Plants vs. Zombies, you know that those sunflowers have way bigger happy heads. They're like this big, so we're gonna level it off so we can have a big old happy sunflower head. That levelly thingy didn't work very well, so I'm gonna use this. Just gonna start on the side. Boom! Perfect. Nice and flat. Now it is time to frost. I got one of these fancy spinners that I'm gonna put the cake on. I'm getting so legit here on Nerdy Nummies. And then look at this. I'm gonna use a vanilla buttercream frosting. And again, I always remind people when they're making a cake using fondant, you don't want to use whipped frosting. Anything cream cheese based, anything nice and rich, thick, or creamy. Take your mustachula and begin to frost. Boom, we're all done frosted. Now we're gonna put the cake in the fridge for about 10 minutes to cool and let the frosting set. And then it's time for fondant. I've divided the task of decoration into parts according to color. First, we're gonna start with yellow. This is my yellow fondant. I'm just gonna roll it out on this fancy pastry mat that my parents got me. I'm using this instead of wax paper, but if you don't have a fancy mat, you can still use wax paper. And sprinkle it with a little bit of powdered sugar. You take your rolling pin and you flatten it out. Boom! We have done it! Plants vs. Zombies sunflower cake. Look, he's so happy! Thanks for watching, you guys. If you have any other ideas for any other nerdy nummies, please leave me a comment and let me know, and I will do my best to make it happen. Alright, thanks.